So guys, I'm so happy to know that some people will come into our life just to teach us, to remind us, to help us with something. And I really, as much as sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, wow, that relationship, man, what a waste of my time. And then the more you spend time reflecting about it, then you realize, you know what, I'm so glad I went through that. I'm so glad I met that girl. Really glad I did that. I'm so glad I met that guy, man. He's an amazing guy. It's unfortunate that we're no longer friends like that, but I still have much love and respect for him. You know, that girl, yeah, even though she broke my heart, but I've learned so much from her. You see, some people come into our life for a reason, and that is probably the best thing about relationships, whether it's a romantic one or platonic. You know, it is one of those things you look back and you ask yourself, damn, if I hadn't gone through that, I would never know this side of myself. It is so easy for us to be like, look, it's so easy for us to start hating on people or on our exes and pretty much on anyone that walks into our lives, right? It is so easy for us to be so like, you came into my life, you did this, you ruined my life, and now look where I am. You know, that is something that happens, and obviously oftentimes we human beings, we tend to look at the negative side of things, which is unfortunately it's just the way we are, but we also have the option to look at the positive side of things. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize here is really truly embrace and be happy that season with some of the people that you had in your life is over. And I say be happy so that you can move on, so that you can then see what is it that God has for you. You know, maybe that person, even though they probably did you wrong, but they weren't there to teach you something. They were there to tell you something about yourself, about the type of person you are, your relationship. They might have taught you one or two things. When you really take some time to understand what happened through that last relationship, or why me and this guy are no longer friends, then you start to appreciate why certain things happen the way they happen. You know, when you find out that some of the guys don't want to be friends with you because you realize that you are this type of person, that you are a negative person, or that you are you are not a bubbly as, you know, some of the friends you have may be, whatever the reason may be. Like sometimes you people will be like, I don't really go with Bruno's vibe. I just feel like he's more a guy who's a bit more reserved, who is more into himself, and therefore I don't want to be a friend with him. And that's okay. That's like for you to listen to that, and you know, especially when they let you know, and actually be asking yourself, oh, am I really that selfish? Oh, that's not what I did this. Am I really doing that? Did I do that wrong? And sometimes praying and really truly asking God for that guidance, just for more clarity, it does help us see that, you know what, we are not perfect. I used to think I'm this guy, but turns out I'm actually a very selfish person. I'm always, you know, talking about myself. I never get people the room to express or to listen. It's about me. And then the people start leaving you, then you start realizing, oh crap, no wonder why people don't be friends. That they be friends with me for like a couple months, and after some time they just go right or left. And I've noticed that with one of my friends, because he used to be very expressive. He used to tell me about his life, his relationships, and things like in general. And whereas what I was doing, I was listening to him, and I'm like, okay, really good, and I love listening to that. But when it came to me expressing about my life, about my relationship, even though there was a lot to say, I used to be very much like this, very reserved, very secretive. I didn't want to say anything about my relationship with my ex at the time. I was just like, yeah, you know, like, let me just listen to your story. I don't want to talk about my story. I don't want to, you know. There was a reason. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be told like, whoa, this relationship is toxic, you should leave. Oh, Bruno, this is probably not gonna work since this day. I didn't want to hear it because I thought to myself, I know what I want and this is what it should be. And then fast forward, you learn so much. You learn that actually there were signs. If I had talking to somebody, they would understand it. They would probably point out some things that I clearly didn't see. Maybe because I was so blind, maybe because I was in love or something like that. So you don't see certain things, but when you speak to friends, family about that person, that loved one, then they start pointing out certain things. I don't think this coming from a negative point of view. They just point out things so that you are aware of it. And if you are aware of those things, then they might help you just understand what's happening, so you don't, put yourself in a toxic relationship, or you don't, just make sure you understand the relationship in a way, because sometimes we don't see it properly, and that was tough for me. It was really difficult to do that, to stop and actually listen to the people. And when they tell me, "Oh, but in this relationship with this girl, I seen it before last year with this other girl, this was happening, you're doing the exact same thing. Are you sure, you're aware, you're about, you know what's happening?" Man, I'll tell you what, relationships are important, man. Even though some people come into our lives and they go, it is very important, and that's why we should all cherish those moments with the people in our lives. And those ones that are still here with us, we should be grateful, man. Because we have some friends in our life. Without them, we would be lost, we would be confused, we wouldn't have nobody to go to. Having somebody that can listen to you, that can give you their opinion, and you respectfully listen to them and take in consideration what they mention, it is an important thing to have in your life, man. Because we don't always see, especially when you're in love, when you like this person, you don't see all the negative, all the bad things about them. I know sometimes you want to be positive, and sometimes there are signs that are telling you this is not going to work, and for various obvious reasons, but for some reason the brain doesn't articulate that, doesn't put it all together, and you end up in a position for a couple of months, even years, just to find out it wasn't worth it. And then you will learn a lot of the things from there. But the early sign, sometimes your friends will be able to see it. So this is the thing about relationship, right? When people, like I said, different people come into your life for different reasons, and I'm so happy that that's the case. And I'm happy that some people that I've met, they're no longer in my life. I'm happy that some people that came and made me feel some type of way, and now I understand, you know what, I'm not for everybody. Really, truly, I'm not. And then also I understand that my self-worth, I get an idea now why certain people actually click with me and why they like me, and why some people, they cannot stand me. And all this happened because you put yourself in a position where you learn, where you go through things, where you start understanding things. And so for everybody that came into my life, we should always be thankful and grateful that they came in, they taught us something, and they left. Different seasons for different reasons, and that is a bless. And this is the reason why each and every day I feel like I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm heading more towards my purpose, and that is something that I wish for everybody to go through. I know most people are a bit timid, they hide it, they don't want to be able to meet other people, they don't want to be, out there meeting people. Some people are very introvert. I get all that, but I feel that some of the real lessons I've learned in my life are from the people I met all over the place, and they came in and they taught me one or two things, and that's what has helped me become the person I am today. So if you are someone who may not have many friends, I would definitely encourage you to think about that, to make more friends, to let people in your life, and you will you will learn more, because when we have so much into ourselves, or by ourselves I should say, we don't learn as much. I think I learn a lot more when I'm in a relationship, You know, whether it's romantic or platonic, when the friends around me, people I meet every day, it really helps you to understand like the kind of person you are, where you're heading, and the overall, it just makes things a lot more interesting, and your life will just grow stronger, and you will become the person you're meant to be. That's my advice for you guys, just to remember that don't be upset with people. Everyone comes to your life for a reason. Alright? I'll speak to you guys later. Ciao. Bye.